Konnichiwa, Minasan. It's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over in Japan. How are you doing? You good? I hope you're genki. Are you ready for some X action? Here we go. X-Men issue 1. Yes, it's back from the ashes. A new beginning, as it says on the cover there. And what do you think of the team, by the way, before I go on? There we go. Have a close look. We got Cyclops, Juggernaut, Beast, Kid Omega's there, Magic. Also, Psylocke, forgot for a minute then, and Temper, I can say Tempest then, Temper in the background, very small, and somebody on the floor, which I can't remember whose name it is. But yes, written by Jed MacKay. It's got art by, well, pencils by Ryan Stegman. Now that was a name which really caught my interest, but more on that later. Inks by JP Mayer and colours by Marty Garcia. Now this is $5.99 for, it says 36 pages, but out of that 36, about 31 are actually story pages. Okay, so let's get on and review. Did I like it? Is it worth buying? What do you think? Now, let me just put my cards on the table. I'm not a massive X-Men lore man. I don't know that much about them. I read Grant Morrison's New X-Men, about half that series. That was my introduction to X-Men, believe it or not, because back in those days, we're talking 2001, I was a big Morrison fan. But yeah, I also read the, Powers of X? I can't remember what the other one's called. Oh my God, the Hickman relaunch. I read the first maybe 10 issues of that. Kind of come back to it a few times, dipped in and out, but really, being honest, lost interest. So I thought, here we go, we got a new start. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what Jed MacKay can bring to the table. You know what? I got to say, being honest here, I'm pretty disappointed. Yeah, pretty disappointed. Overall, it's not a terrible comic, but it's not particularly exciting either. I found it quite dull, a bit boring at times, a bit clunky with the dialogue, very expositionary. Now, maybe to be fair, that's because it's a new number 1. They're trying to get new readers in, but there's quite a lot of tell, rather than show. And some of the lines by especially Beast are really weird. So yeah, you get a lot of explaining, who people are and what powers are. The action, when it comes, it's okay. It's pretty good. There are some quite funny scenes, and that's another point I want to make. I'm not sure if it's going for to be a funny take on X-Men, or it's kind of a halfway between not sure if it's being serious or trying to have a few good one-liners, being a bit goofy, a bit Zeb Wells Hellion style. Are they going for that? Again, maybe it's too early to tell, but it felt like it was a little bit all over the place. Sometimes serious, sometimes funny, sometimes a bit like scratching your head. But yeah, without further ado, let me give my score. I'm going to go at the beginning here for a change. So I'm wavering between 6.5 to 7. So let's be fair. Let's be more positive with it being an opening issue. And the art, despite my complaints about it being a bit too cartoony at times, the art is decent. So I'm going to go for 7. A 7 out of 10. Disappointing, but hoping for better things, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, do let me know in the comments what you think. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I've lost the plot, if I ever had it. What do you think of this team? What do you think of the choice of the characters? So I'm going to show you maybe half of the book, talk about it, show some of the the panels, the art, and give my thoughts. So please keep watching. Here we go. Our story opens X months later, 20 minutes outside of Merle, Alaska. We have the chief of police of Merle visiting the X base, X factory, X ruin. Then we get our first look at Beast, who answers the door. The chief of police apologises for her reaction. Then we get a bit of weird dialogue here, where Beast is saying, "Oh, think nothing of it, Chief. Heteromorphic genetic expression can often be startling." Now you can write that, but would you really say that? The Chief is hoping to meet Scott Summers, but as we learn from Beast, he's out on a field mission. What do you think of the art here, Ryan Stegman's version of Beast? I'm not sure, and I'm not sure about the cartoony style of the people as well as the chief of police here. Then we get a double-page spread which kind of introduces the rest of the team and some wingdings. Cyclops, Kid Omega, Psylocke, Juggernaut, Magic and Temper. This is the assault team. Not really a team if it's just 2 of us as Magic diving into the battle. I like this scene actually with Magic and Juggernaut, looking pretty cool here. Now this seems pretty good. Again, the cartoony art, I'm not quite sure about some of the characters, but Psylocke looks good. Cyclops pretty good too. We see them bursting into their enemy's base. Let's get our people, X-Men. Then we switch back to Beast, who's still showing the chief of police around the X whatever it is. I keep wanting to say X Mansion, but of course it's not. The X base in Alaska. Here we've got Beast introducing the police chief to Mr. Herman. Herman? Then we get some expositionary dialogue. Again, it's a bit clunky, but I guess you could argue this is for brand new readers who are new to X-Men. We've got Hank saying, "We were all of us born different, Chief, born mutants. But regardless of our powers or our forms, we are people. People who wish to live, to thrive, to grow in the world. Not unlike our garden here in the face of the Alaskan cold." It's a lot of tell and not show by Jed MacKay, but again, it's an opening issue. You know, maybe you can argue he kind of has to do that. But what do you think so far? Here, the chief is telling Beast that you got to understand there's a lot of hard feelings. A lot of people made their livelihoods before the plant shut down. But if you remember what this plant was used for, I suppose it's an interesting argument because you've got to, again, saying that times have been very hard since the manufacturing stopped and the jobs went away. But of course, from the mutant's perspective, from Beast's perspective, he's like saying, manufacturing is a bit of a disingenuous wordplay, is it not? This is where your people built Sentinels. Then we switch scenes again back to the mission and we get our first look at Wolverine. And do you know what? The first time I read this through, I did a double take. I was like, wait a minute, is that Beast? The way that Beast has been drawn, like in the colours as well, looks very similar to this version of Wolverine here. I guess mainly because of the colours, but also check out Beast's hairstyle earlier. It's very similar to Wolverine's. The X-Men are coming for Wolverine. The guards are afraid. And we learn here that Wolverine's been like psychically transmitting somehow that, you know, where he is in trouble. So surely someone will have heard him. And we get a pretty cool action scene, especially if you check out the top panel. We see Cyclops blasting some of the enemies there with like rebounding from the walls, hitting the guard there, the enemy, blasting through and hitting another one. How many can he hit in one go? And then a sentinel on what appears to be like tank tracks comes through the wall. And we get more exposition from Temper here. Fourth School believes that the third species, predicted by John Sublime, is actually AI. So am I, by the way. And so they need to become the fourth species, a mix of human, AI, and mutant. Okay, so is that new from Jed MacKay? The good news is they no longer hate us. The bad news is they want to become us by consuming us. It's never easy, is it, for the X-Men? And we get a nice view of Scott here, Cyclops. What do you think of his design? Look at that chest. Look at those abs. Fantastic. Look at his lats. A bit more exposition here as to why they're on this mission. Not just for Wolverine, but 3 days ago they picked up 6 new pings via Cerebro. 6 new mutants are supposed to be there. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, by the way, but it is thundering and lightning and pouring down with rain at the moment as I record this. Okay, listen to this, a bit more clunky dialogue from Beast. He's talking to Chief Robbins and talking about the Eden that was taken away from them, the mutants. And so now we must find our place in the world all over again. And ever have refugees had to settle for the broken and unwanted places of the earth. Now hang on a sec there. Didn't they choose to set up the base where they are now? And also, I don't know if Jed MacKay's having a bit of a dig or what, but refugees don't usually have to settle for the broken and unwanted place of the earth, do they, these days? Just ask the UK, France, Germany, anywhere else, Spain, Greece.
How dare you?
Back to the guards who have got Wolverine strapped to that table or whatever it is. One of them makes a sharp exit from the room. The other one's like, wait, is somebody there? Oh no. Okay, after dealing with the Sentinel and rescuing Wolverine, Cyclops is talking about finding the mutants. He tells Quentin to scan for new mutants, but Quentin can't do it. I'm trying, he says, but there are no kids. There are no kids here. All my telepathy's picking up are adults. As we see 6 of them bursting through the ceiling somehow and coming down on the X-Men, on the team. What's going to happen next? Okay, I'll stop the story summary here. There is still 11 pages of story to go. Still more characters to see. What to say, don't want to spoil too much. And there you have it. I do hope you enjoyed the look inside the book. as I said earlier, do let me know what you think. Just want to show one of the many variant covers. This is my favourite. I tell you what, there's something about boob windows, isn't there? Hey, maybe it's just me, but yeah, big fan. But I do love this one. Really good art. Okay, that's it for the review. As always, thank you so much for watching. Do let me know what you think, what you thought. Drop some comments. I'd love to hear from you. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? Please tell me why. And I hope to see you in a future video. This has been Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse, signing off for a stormy night over here. See ya.